Hello, my name is Gary Brandon Renfro, and I go by Brandon, and I'm applying for a facilitator position with OLNTT for the next 3 years. Adult students can be challenging. They have lots going on. They have families, houses, much more responsibilities than our high school students. So my approach with adult learners is to be realistic and to be empathetic and to let them know that I value their time and that my content is not a waste of their time. So I try to make the content realistic and more real world and relatable as best I can. And strategies would be to, just like high school students, keep them involved, question and answering, group work, activities that demand involvement, that help the content be more comprehensive. Instructional feedback is crucial for adult learners and high school students. And with adult learners, we can be more candid than we can our high school students. An adult learners coming into CTE have a different understanding and a different perspective than an adult coming straight from college into the classroom. Coming into the CTE world, we're dealing with adults that have that real world, working world experience and perspective. And that can be easier to relate to, my experience. Effective feedback lets both the student and the instructor know that the content is being understood and comprehended. And allowing questions and diving deeper into the content can get those adult learners more involved and interacting with your content. And I want the adult learner to feel equal. I don't want them to feel like I'm the instructor, you listen. We're adults. We're both adults. We're equal. I happen to have this experience, and I'm sharing it with you. And I dealt with that when I was a firefighter with Johnson City Fire Department, teaching classes there in the training division, dealing with adults, firefighters that were old, salty firefighters that had 20 years more experience than me. They didn't want to listen to anything I said. But, I empathized with them. I showed them the new innovations, and tried to get in depth and on their level, and not just like, hey, I'm a book nerd. I read this and you didn't, and So I try just to let them know I'm equal, and to just bring that there are things that you can learn. No matter how much experience you have, you can still learn. When adult learners don't want to be there and feel like they're above the content, or it's a waste of time, that's the challenge. That's you're going to run into that with adult learners. Like I said, with the fire department, I teach CPR at my school. I teach to the athletic staff and administration and all the staff, and I have a really challenging time with the athletic staff. They don't want to be there. They're on their phone the whole time, and so I try to just be real world, real life experience. And I use an example with that CPR class. I show a little video on the NFL football player, Damar Hamlin, who collapsed in the middle of a game, went to cardiac arrest at the 50-yard line in the middle of an NFL game. Guy's in perfect health. And just to show them it can happen to anybody, anywhere, and you need to learn this. It's real world, real life experience. With OLNTT a couple years ago, we had a couple gentlemen that did not want to be there. They were on their phone the whole time. They weren't listening. They wouldn't interact. And I pulled one guy aside one day and said, hey, would you like your high school students to act like this and to do what you're doing? Well, no, you're right. And then he said, man, I just had a fight with my wife, and I'm just not in the right headspace. So I said, man, just go outside, make the phone calls you need to make, and then come back, and let's get in the right headspace. And he did. And he finished out, that was when we were doing a whole week. he finished out the rest of the week, and he was involved, he was engaging, and he needed to feel like he was respected and his time was valued, and that empathy. So that's my main approach with teaching overall, empathizing and just trying to get the point across as best I can. And I look forward for the opportunity working with OLNTT for another 3 years. Thank you.